Okay, you two, I want to see a clean fight, no hitting below the belt, and no funny business.
We were live yesterday on the program, and President Trump was giving a press conference. And President Trump, at this press conference, made a very strong statement about Iran, and a very strong statement about what needed to happen in Iran, that he did not want war. He does not want military strikes. He does not want there to be open warfare. Open warfare in the Middle East has a tendency over the last 100 years to drag, over the last 30 years, to drag Americans in and to rob us of our greatest treasures. Okay? The sovereignty of our nation, our men and women in uniform. And I'm sick of it. We all watched over 10,000 American soldiers die in Iraq and in Afghanistan. And for what exactly? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. We've handed those lands back to the terrorists. For what exactly? For the dream of like bringing democracy? How'd that work out exactly? The 4th century terrorist goat army is now in control of Afghanistan. We've handed Bagram back to the terrorists and to the Chinese, effectively. And we're pulling all of our people from our embassies. The embassy is in Baghdad because it's so unsafe, because the country's so unstable. No, these wars of adventurism have been total and complete failures. They've destroyed the future of so many young Americans. They've crippled our nation and saddled us with uncontrollable debt. We don't want them. Enough. America First means actually deploying the Marines to Los Angeles. Do you understand? Like, do you understand that I want Marines in Los Angeles? I need Marines in Los Angeles. That's what the Marines are for, to protect America from foreign invaders, to protect our land, not to protect somebody else's land, to protect our border, not the border of Ukraine, not the border of Israel, not the border of Gaza, whatever. This is like a principled stance. It's very easy to be just like principally standing on these things. And so again, I just want to ring the bell. I just want to ring the bell and say, that's what we believe. And I speak on behalf of, I think, an enormous number of Americans. 70% of Americans say they do not want America to be involved in any more foreign wars. 70%. There's a huge portion of Americans that believe that Israel is too aggressive in the region. I think that's around 60%. And there is a massive preponderance of Americans, something like 90%, that says they do not want boots on the ground, American boots on the ground in foreign wars. Okay, so not involved at all, no boots on the ground, and we are backing off the aggressors, all right? So that's what President Trump was saying yesterday at the White House. This was hours before Israel bombed Iran. Here we go.
Mr. President, how imminent is an Israeli strike on Iran?
Well, I don't want to say imminent, but it looks like it's something that could very well happen. Look, it's very simple, not complicated. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. Other than that, I want them to be successful. I want them to be tremendous. We'll help them be successful. We'll trade with them. We'll do whatever is necessary. I stopped a war between India and Pakistan. And I stopped it with trade. I don't think I've ever seen a story written about it, but it was pretty cool. They were getting ready. Pakistan was their turn to hit, and eventually they're going to go nuclear. And I stopped it. I called each. I respect each leader greatly. I know them. And I spoke to them. And
President Trump going on saying, I stopped a war with Israel and Pakistan. That's in the general region of the world. I did it through trade. I want Israel to pick up the phone and call Iran. I want Iran to call Israel. I want them to be at peace. I am a president of peace. It's not good for our economy. It's not good for anything that we're building right now. Things are going very nicely, actually, in the golden era. We don't want to plunge our nations into war, is what President Trump said. So don't bomb Iran. But Israel bombed Iran. And here's some of the footage of it that we were able to show last night. You can see small mushroom cloud, small little puffs of smoke right over Tehran. You can see some of the bombing runs. There were 200 Israeli fighter jets over strategic targets, 6 strategic targets, military and nuclear, throughout Iran yesterday. The footage, while there are some buildings that are on fire, and there are some buildings, there are some facilities that, are up in flames, The footage is not particularly like mind-blowing. What's mind-blowing is actually what happened in the morning, in the light of day, where you can see that what occurred were precision strikes throughout Iran. These precision strikes were able to eliminate like single apartments. Check this out. Here you can see the apartment of an Iranian general. They were able to hit his bedroom. So, this is why I give the buffer on the show about what my stance is on war. My stance on war is that we've been lied to for most of the histories of the last 250 years in our country. We've been lied to about the justifiability of war. I don't think that we've been in many justifiable wars here as a country, quite frankly. Maybe the Revolutionary War? It's like okay, and, I'm going to have to think through every conflict. But we've been taught a lie about many wars and the people's history of our wars, and it's often, very often, the wars are never fought for our own country; they're fought for someone else's country. That is a constant, and it certainly has been throughout my life, and I hate that. The lies are that we are on the side of the angels always, and everybody else is a devil. When in reality, war is often two demons fighting each other, actually. And the holy stance here is peace. And that is what I believe that President Trump wants. It's what he's been advocating for. However, with that said, this is impressive. Being able to smoke an Iranian general. Do we have like a rundown? Can you give me a rundown of everybody who died yesterday? Yeah, give me a rundown. Okay, so here we go. We got Secretary General of the Supreme National Council, head of the Quds Force, Iranian Revolutionary Commander, Iran's Deputy Chief of Staff. Talk to any American soldier, and then a bunch of nuclear scientists. And then they smoked some airfields. They smoked some, batteries, defensive air batteries, and they smoked some nuclear plants. So I'm not here to advocate for war against these guys, but I will tell you, if you know anybody who is a GWAT veteran, who was maimed or who saw their Humvee blow up, or who witnessed terrorism in Iraq or Afghanistan, and most of them did. 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, the bomb was supplied by Iran. The bomb was created in Iran and was deployed by Iran. A lot of these guys are bastards. And a lot of these guys were like thrilled when they could like maim or slaughter American soldiers when we were in the Mideast. It's an ugly, ugly place. It's a hideous place. It's not a place that I want our troops, quite frankly, because goblin monsters like this, can maim and harm them. And I don't ever want to see that again. So I don't, I'm certainly not saying these guys are the good guys. What I'm saying is it's like freaking impressive that they were able to precision strike like this. How the hell does that happen? How are you able to smoke like single room in an apartment? He didn't even strike like the entire apartment. They hit one room and killed the guy. I mean, good God, that's wild. Well, here we go. You want to talk about some just zoom out. I'm not asking you to be like the best friend of Iran or Israel. Okay, I'm asking you to just look at this like on like a modern warfare like playing table. This is freaking unbelievably impressive. Check this out. Israel built a secret drone operations facility inside of Iran. What? So Israel built their own military base in Iran. Then they launched drones from this base in order to precision strike needle targets in order to kill specific human beings. And an attack like this. This would be an air defense system. I don't know exactly which one, what type, but this is an air defense system in order to prevent fighter jets from flying over your land. They smoked it. They're all gone. Iran now has 0% capacity to control its own airspace, which is, of course, that means you're a collapsed nation. I'm not asking you to love one side or the other. What I'm telling you is that this is freaking unbelievably impressive and terrifying. You wonder why all of the inauguration was moved indoors. Like, what's to stop a foreign country from doing this to us? It's crazy. We were just with the special forces. It's like, You know, we're sitting there riding around with special forces. It's like crazy impressive what they're doing. But like a very cheap drone swarm, you know, could take out so much of like what we just saw with President Trump. Like very cheap, like inexpensive, $500 worth of drones. I mean, we were riding with the special forces. You're looking at millions of dollars pumped into our special forces soldiers and their equipment and their gear. And it's like a $50 drone could like do horrible damage. I mean, we've seen that happen throughout the world, but we saw it happen in real time last night with precision strikes killing particular single individuals, probably bad guys. You know what I mean? Like they were maiming American soldiers and stuff like that. So, you know, effed around, found out. But, you know, again, that's wild. I've never seen anything like it. So Israel then puts up a video like this bragging about how they built and are operating drone attack facilities inside Iran. Whoa. I mean, whoa. Freaking crazy, dude. Freaking crazy. So that's what's happening. There were a bunch of Iranian generals that were inside of an underground bunker. 20 of Iranian senior commanders in the Revolutionary Guard meeting in a secret underground bunker, and they were all killed in a single IDF strike. So Israel's out, you know, obviously spiking the football, and there's been a lot of leaders killed. Okay, so what does President Trump have to say about this? President Trump and Marco Rubio are making the same response. They're saying something very specific. We weren't part of it. We didn't help. We are not going to war. Now, this is, of course, to placate the J.D. Vance, Tucker Carlson wing of the America First movement, a wing of which we find ourselves often ideologically locked in with. Saying no new wars, please, Mr. President. You like Trump ran on no new wars. Here we go. Statement from Marco Rubio. Israel took unilateral action tonight. We're not involved in any way in the strikes in Iran. Our top priority is protecting Americans. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Israel advised us they believe that this action was necessary in self-defense. President Trump and the administration taken all necessary steps to protect our forces and remain in close contact. We are protecting Americans. The end. President Trump's first response to all this, I think, very important. This is, kind of what Trump's been saying for a long time. Make the deal. All of this seems to hinge on a nuclear Iran. You don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I don't want Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I don't want nuclear proliferation at all for these countries. That's part of the scary part about India and Pakistan popping off is that they both have nukes. And how quickly does that spiral? It's not good. A reminder that World War I, inarguably the most catastrophic war in human history, period, is World War I. In modern human history. World War II is just an extension of World War I. There was just a slight pause, and then World War II kicked off. It's the same thing. It's the same war, okay? World War I was started with a single bullet, a single shot from some dirtbag Marxist assassin from killing Franz Ferdinand. Like, these little things, these little dumb actions can have ricochet effects on all these dumb people and can then plunge all of Western civilization into like a circular firing slaughterhouse, which is what happened. So, yes, I don't want Iran to have a nuke. Neither does Trump. Here we go. I gave Iran a chance after chance after chance to make a deal. I told them, in the strongest of words, to just do it. Donald Trump taking a very Nike stance here. Just do it. But no matter how hard they tried, no matter how close they got, they couldn't get a nuclear deal done. I told them that it would be much worse than anything that they knew, anticipated, or were told. And the United States makes the best and most lethal military equipment by far. If you're impressed by what like Israel did, okay? So if you're just looking at this as like a war map and you're like impressed with these precision strikes, like building drone factories inside of your enemy's territory, which is prima facie impressive, you like know that it's all American tech. Like know that this is all like run by America. Like this is our stuff. All of it's ours. All right. And then it's like I'm not saying that they're lying. I firmly believe that America had no part in this. You can see Trump's stance on this stuff. America probably had foreknowledge of it. Clearly, Trump knew that something was brewing and was about to pop off. He said it many times. But ladies and gentlemen, what he's saying here is make the deal. Nobody wants a nuclear Iran. Iran shouldn't want a nuclear Iran. Trump was saying, we'll make you rich. We'll trade with you. We'll take down all the barriers. We'll buy your damn oil. Give up your stupid bomb, and like we'll bring you into the fold. Remember the greatest days of all time? Can you grab me just really quickly my favorite photo ever? Donald Trump going into the DMZ. Just grab me the Trump walking into the DMZ and bear hugging Kim Jong-un. This is my president. This is what you should want. This is what you should like. Do you want Trump to do this in Iran? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure. Maybe. Do I want Trump to do this in Tehran? Yeah, maybe. Is North Korea? Is this more shocking than Trump doing this in Tehran? Yeah, it is. You want to know why? Because Iran is not actively at war with America. You know, there's no peace deal signed in the Korean War. So we're technically at war here. Technically, on paper, we're still at war with North Korea. We fought a war. 55,000 Americans died in a war in North Korea. Should have never happened, but whatever. This is unbelievable. So this is the dictator of a nation we're at war with welcoming Trump into his nation. You know how awesome that is? You know how incredible that is? You know how good this is for us? That's my president right there. Boom. That's my man. Okay? This is the Trump that we want. Trump was trying to do the same posture with Iran. Dude, we will make you rich. We will trade with you. We'll buy your freaking oil. We'll help you modernize. Give up your stupid nuke. Give up the nuke and let's have stability in the world and it'll be good. This is the start of Trump's. And I would love it. I'm telling you, I would love it. I love that Kim Jong-un like embraced Donald Trump and like writes him love letters to this day. Hand writes him. Kim Jong-un sits there and like hand writes him. I don't know if we have like, no, let's not play like really annoying Korean music, but he's like writing love letters to Donald Trump. Okay, I think it's awesome. Okay, whatever. You know, I think it's freaking awesome. I love that. That's what strength, peace through strength looks like. Look at him. He's like crying. He's dreaming about Trump. The violin. Can you hear the string music? So here we go. Iranian hardliners spoke bravely, but they didn't know what was about to happen. They're all dead. And now it's going to get worse. There's already been great death and destruction. It's time to make the slaughter. Next is already planned attacks. It's going to be more brutal. Iran must make a deal before there's nothing left. Just do it. No more death, no more destruction. Do it before it's too late. Just do it. President Trump going full Nike. President Trump going full Nike on Iran. The Ayatollah has a response here saying the Zionist regime has prepared itself for a bitter, painful fate, which it will definitely see. Okay, all right. I don't want death and destruction. Now would be a great time to make a deal. I mean, according to all military reports, Iran has absolutely no air defenses left. And there's nothing from stopping like Israel from having total and complete air supremacy over their land. That is a bad position to be in. You don't have the cards, as President Trump would say. Here's President Trump this morning on Bret Baier, and in just a moment, we'll have a spectacular lieutenant colonel who'll be joining the program to talk about all of this. Let's go.
Hey, Trace. Yeah, I just spoke to President Trump. One thing, the president was aware of Israel's action before it happened. There were no surprises here. But he gave me a quote. He said, Iran cannot have a nuclear bomb. We're hoping to get back to the negotiating table. We'll see. There are several people in leadership in Iran that will not be coming back. Now, the president, I know, has spoken to Prime Minister Netanyahu several times in recent days. As I mentioned before, the Trump administration reached out to a key Middle Eastern ally beforehand to acknowledge this strike was going to happen, but that the U.S. was not involved in the strike, but the goal is still to get Iran back to the negotiating table.
So is that it? Is this the pain? Is this the art of the deal? Is this the pain of negotiation with certain people that only understand pain? Killer Klein sitting here in the studio with me. Like, some people only understand pain. Sometimes a cocky fighter just has to be put down. Sometimes like a blood in the mouth, like, is the only way to like humble someone, right? right? This is how you do it. So maybe this is just the art of the deal. You know? Again, there wasn't like, you can't find it. I'd show it to you if there was. There aren't like skyscrapers collapsing down, slaughtering hundreds of millions, you know. That didn't happen. It just didn't happen. We'd show it to you. Look at everything's in flames, everything's like a nuclear bomb. It's not. This is not the case. It was precision strikes killing Iranian leadership. Donald Trump kind of making a joke about it, actually. Get a load of this. This is Donald Trump speaking to CNN's Dana Bash, talking to her. And then at the very end, it's kind of like the same quote, but down at the last line down here. Dana Bash says, Donald Trump says, they need to come to the table. Iran needs to come to the table right now and make a deal before it's too late. It'll be too late for them. You know, the people that we're dealing with are dead. The hardliners, they're all dead, says Donald Trump. Dana Bash asked, how did they die? Stupid. This is why you don't talk to CNN reporters. Moron. And then Donald Trump says, well, they didn't die of the flu. They didn't die of COVID. Our president, ladies and gentlemen. As Trump, how did all the Iranian generals die? They didn't die of COVID. Okay. Iran has retaliated with drone strikes, and none of them made it to Israel. Iran sent a wave of 100 suicide drones to Israel, and no drones made it. So that's the break there. All right. Let's just hope it doesn't pop off. Please don't like start killing Americans or like attacking Americans, dude. Like, you know, don't do it. Finally, on this point, Iran has threatened America. See what happens. Like, don't be dumb, right? Like negotiate. Your country will be rich.